Okay. Alright, I actually have it set to public for once. It's still showing black, so. Alright, we are live. Finally. Good lord. Sometimes OBS just doesn't want to go through. But I should be live. Let me make sure I have the audio turned on. Sometimes it's not even turned on, but it seems to be turned on. I am not good at streaming. I have no idea what I'm doing. Usually for streaming, I just whenever I do like drawing streams, I just share like the tablet screen and there's like no audio. Sometimes I'll link audio to like YouTube streams where they're playing like lo-fi music or something, but I usually don't do streaming where I have the camera on. And that's on my other computer anyway that I do that sort of streaming. But yeah, I thought I'd procrastinate a little bit, do like a 30-minute stream. This is usually what I do whenever it's late at night. I'm getting tired and I just don't really feel like studying anymore, which I'm out of college now. I graduated from college. Thank God that's over, at least until the fall, transferring to university. Going to start in university in the fall. Placed into third year Japanese somehow. Not really sure how I did that, but I did. So that's pretty exciting. It's the highest level they would let you test into at the university I'm going to. So um, honestly, I think I could have been placed even higher than what I was like placed in, but it's just the highest that they would let you test into. They really want you to take as many credits at the university. They want as much money of yours as they can get, so they want to try to get you to do as many as you can. But as long as I pass the 4 classes that I'm registered for, might add a minor to my degree and possibly sign up for a 5th class. Not sure about that yet. But the 4 classes that I'm able to take, which is Japanese classes and like a Japanese culture class, as long as I'm able to pass those with, I believe it's just a C or better. I believe the C is the minimum. But as long as I'm basically able to pass, I can go back and retroactively get credit for all of like the first and second year Japanese classes. I'll be able to go back and buy those. I believe they're like $60 a piece for like each class, and I can get all 3 credits from each of those classes. So that's pretty exciting. Looking forward to potentially doing that, and that's definitely going to streamline my university experience because right now if I'm not able to do that, it's probably going to take like 2.5 years to finish university because I don't really feel comfortable doing any more than around 12 credits. I've had a couple of semesters where I did at my previous college where I did 15 credits and I also did 14 credits in my last semester. And that was pretty intense. It was pretty rough doing that because I do have a normal job and then I do drawing on the side. And then I was trying to keep up my Japanese study, but with my Japanese I really started taking Japanese learning seriously over the last 2 years, but it's really been mostly just start and stop. Like in between my semesters, I would like get back hardcore into Japanese for like a month or two, and then my next semester would start up because whenever I first started college, I started in the fall. Then I did fall semester, I did winter semester, I did spring semester, then I did summer semester, fall semester, didn't do winter semester, and then I did spring semester, and then graduated. So it was almost 2 years straight of just college. Like almost every semester that I could take courses for, I did take courses for. That way I could graduate in time without having to kill myself doing 15 credits per semester. So um, did a lot of grinding in order to get that far, but unfortunately, my Japanese really isn't anywhere near as high as it should be. Um, because in my first year of studying Japanese, I made it to the N5, passed the N5. Then in my second year, it really fell off. It was just start and stop. I'd basically get back to the same point. Then life would get hectic, get super busy with college, get super busy with work, just life. And I would like get weeks behind on like Anki, just not studying vocab, not learning anything new, and I would have to basically it was easier to just start over the Anki deck. And I just finished redoing my Anki decks. I finished the N5 deck. I don't think I actually restarted the N5 deck. I may have did. Basically towards the end of May and maybe the beginning of June, because I think I did restart all of my decks. Um, yeah, grinded through the N5 deck. I was doing like 100 cards a day in that, and now it's down to the N5 deck. I know Japanese N5 level. It's incredibly easy for me. If I were to like take another N5 test like right now, it would be a cakewalk for me right now. I just know the vocab so well, know the grammar for it decently. It would just the N5 level is very easy for me. Honestly, I think I'd be fine on the N4. Unfortunately, last year did fail the N4 test. Totally my fault not studying it. I've never really did Japanese grammar study. I've just did vocab study, so that hurt me a little bit. And my reading time, I didn't do a whole lot of reading, and I did basically no listening. So basically, all my Japanese study has just been in Anki, which is not ideal. But I just did not have the time while I was in college to put like 2 or 3 hours a day into like listening to Japanese and getting active immersion in. And my reading speed for Japanese was really slow. And over the last week, going on 2 weeks now, I've been really working on increasing my Japanese reading speed. I've been trying to get more into reading, which I am going to go over that here in a little bit. But yeah, redid my then 5 deck. I want to say I may have grinded like the first 200 cards because it's like a 900 and some odd card deck. So I believe I just grinded it out in like a week. I grinded out the N5 deck and then I started right into the N4 deck and just finished that recently. Was redoing that. I believe I started with. Let me bring it up. I think was doing like I did 70 cards a day for a while. I did 35 cards a day for a while, then 25, then just down to 10 to finish them out. And just now beginning to learn new cards again. Basically, as of today, I know 2,502 Japanese sentences, words, um, as of right now. So that's pretty cool. Oh, God. Wrong channel, wrong tab. All right, now we're back on the right tab. All right, never mind. That is not the right tab. With great Japanese TV shows. And now that's another YouTube tab. All right, we are back on the correct tab now. Wow, that was really dumb. But yeah, finally, officially today, passed 2,500 vocab for the very first time. Finished the N4 deck. I am over halfway done. Yes, I believe over halfway done with the first part of the N3 deck because the N3 deck is broken down into 4 parts. Each part is around 500 cards. I believe the total count for the like all 4 of the parts to the deck is a bit over 2,000. So yeah, each part of it is around 500 words, sentences. I'm over halfway done with that. And as of right now, I am doing 30 new cards a day on the N3 deck, and I'm planning to keep that up through the summer and potentially into August. I know I'm going to finish it out for the rest of this month and then July because I decided I'm not going to get another new job like for a while. That's another reason my Japanese got behind. For a little bit of time, I had 2 normal jobs and my drawing job, so I had 3 jobs at the same time. And that was just insane. And I did like 0 Japanese. All I did was work and sleep whenever I was doing that. So, yeah. But over the summer now that graduation's done, I quit my other job. And my goal is to just grind Japanese the rest of the summer, like intensely. Like I've been doing like 2 hours of reading a day. I need to increase my listening. Haven't been getting as much listening as I really should be getting, honestly. Need to watch more anime, get more just active listening in on YouTube and stuff. But I have been reading a lot, which I guess I'll get into that here in a little bit. And yeah, in August, I have a Japan trip planned for August. It's going to be at least 2 weeks. I did ask for work if they would potentially let me off for like 2 weekends in a row. That way I could go for 3 weeks. I would love to do that. If that's on the table for me to do, I'm going to take off for like most of August and go to Japan, and then come back like right before classes start. I'm going to get back that Friday, then Saturday and Sunday work, and then Monday classes start. If that happens, if I'm able to go for 3 weeks. while I'm there, I'm going to definitely try to keep up my Japanese study. Might lower the new cards down to like either 10 or 20. That way I'm not just getting bombarded with like cards every day. But for the rest of June and potentially all of July, I'm definitely going to attempt to keep it at 30 new cards a day because I want to finish this N3 deck. Ideally, I would love to finish or nearly finish the N3 deck before university starts. But I guess I'll start with some reading because, again, never did much reading in Japanese. Some Japanese news articles here and there. Every once in a while, I would read Yotsubato, which I've read through like the 2 volumes that I have, volumes 1 and 2. I've read through these like 4 or 5 times each. I use it as like a benchmark to like gauge how good my Japanese is getting because whenever I first started learning Japanese 2 years ago, with like all the off and on study, I read through the first one, understood stuff here and there, and now whenever I read through Yotsubato, it's just easy. But my goal for the month is to read 10 Japanese volumes, which I didn't start reading Japanese manga this month until like the end of last week. It was almost halfway through the entire month whenever I finally decided to start reading Japanese. But so far this week, my goal has been to read a volume a day, and next week I'm going to try to read a volume a day. But this one doesn't really count. Yotsubato Volume 2, I didn't add that one to my count whenever I started counting my manga because I read that at the beginning of the month. But towards the end of the last week and into this week, these are the manga that I've read in Japanese. And I'm going to talk a little bit about them, talk maybe a little on how difficult they was. Whenever I read Japanese manga, physical manga anyway, I don't do any lookups, or if I do, it's very minimal lookups. Mostly I'm just reading through and consuming the content. If I don't understand anything, just read it as is, keep going, and maybe I'll pick it up later. But Volume 1 of Naruto, pretty hard volume, honestly. It's not real Japanese. I would not recommend using Naruto as like a benchmark for if you wanted to learn Japanese. Do not mimic what they say for sure, or the way they speak. Do not mimic the way they speak because it's definitely it'd come off as very rude and just not how normal people speak. But it was fun. I understood things here and there. It was a difficult manga to read. It took a good while. There's quite a bit of dialogue in like early Naruto. Like I was surprised. The reason I picked Naruto, I was like, all right, I'll pick out a shonen. It'll be something that I can read fairly quickly and not take all day to read. But yeah, it actually ended up taking a lot longer than I thought it would to read Volume 1 of Naruto. And again, really didn't understand that much, just understood things here and there. The next series that I started to read was Ayakashi Triangle. Well, actually, the very next thing I started to read was Suzume Volume 1, but I didn't get around to finishing that until later, so I'll talk about that when I get to it. But I ended up starting while I was reading Suzuka Volume 1 because I'm going to talk about that whenever I get to it. But I started reading Ayakashi Triangle Volume 1, and less dialogue, a lot of words that are very specific to this series, where I would have to look up and maybe understand it. It's a lot of vocab just unique to the series, like names of attacks, names of stuff in the world of Ayakashi Triangle that you wouldn't hear outside of this series. Just a lot of vocab specific to this series. But whenever it was like the slice of life parts, I was able to understand a decent amount and pick up on things here and there. And my reading time was still pretty slow. I can tell even just reading these 5 volumes in like the last 4 or 5 days ish, my reading speed has definitely increased a lot because, like I said before this, I never really read much in Japanese. My reading speed in Japanese was very slow. Whenever I took the N4 test, like I barely got through the reading portions in time. Like I was pushing the limit to get through reading the reading portions in time whenever I took the N4 test. So my reading speed is definitely really slow in Japanese, but grinding on it, trying to make it better. That's why I'm reading a volume a day now. That's my goal for the rest of this month, hopefully next month as well, because my time is getting a lot lower. Whenever I first started reading these volumes in Japanese, it was like over 3 hours. Of course, maybe not as much, but like Volume 1 of Suzuka, whenever I get to this, yeah, that one took a while. And I also started reading Ayakashi Triangle Volume 2. Got easier, got faster at reading, less dialogue heavy as the series has gone on. Some chapters quite a bit more dialogue. That's why it's difficult to track. Like if you track your reading time from one chapter to another, sometimes one chapter might take like 10 minutes, and another chapter might take like 15-20 minutes. There's no there's no good way to measure your time whenever you're reading manga. It's not like novels where it's all dialogue or all words and that you can time yourself reading, but enjoying it. Um, I originally started watching the anime on Crunchyroll, but I dropped the anime after 2 episodes because it is incredibly censored on Crunchyroll, and I actually bought the entire manga, well, the entire anime in Japanese, and I'm planning to start watching it alongside reading the volumes, which I believe I'm getting to the end of where the anime ended already with volume 2, so that's a little disappointing. But I am planning to start watching my Japanese Blu-rays for the anime while I finish reading the volumes that I have. But I did enjoy it. Um, what I was able to understand of it, again, didn't look up a whole lot. Then Suzuka, this is one. Oh my God, it's so dialogue heavy. And let me bring up some like furigana. It's hard for me to read because I'm getting older and my vision is getting bad. But like whenever I'm trying to read the furigana, sometimes I have to strain my eyes to try to read this stuff, and it's difficult at times to read and try to make out what the furigana is. And sometimes even just the like kanji and stuff is like whenever it's written small, like there's some panels where um, the size of the writing is like really small and difficult to read for sure. It's a sign that I really need to go and get glasses again. Haven't wore glasses and probably around 15 years. So probably about time to get back to the eye doctor and get some new glasses. But this is very heavy dialogue, a lot of dialogue. Took a very long time to read. I believe the total time it took for me to read Suzuka was like over 3 hours, maybe going on 4 hours. It took an insanely long time, very long time to read. And I finished both of these yesterday. I finished Suzuka Volume 1 and Ayakashi Triangle Volume 2. I finished both of those yesterday, and today for reading I wanted to start something a bit easier, a bit more slice of life, and was looking over my options in my collection, and I ended up settling on Ao no Hako, Blue Box. And this is a very cute series. Was able to understand quite a bit of it, again not looking up anything, just reading it as I go along. A lot of the sports dialogue is written in katakana, so even though without looking it up, I was able to understand it, even never having seen or read those words or meanings before. I was able to understand quite a bit just because of the katakana and its sports specific vocab. But yeah, it ended up taking, I put in 2 hours and 29 minutes of reading time total today, but it probably took 2 hours or less to read this because that's also reading time for not just reading this manga, but reading NHK news articles, because I got some of that reading time in today, and I read 4 articles, so there was a decent amount of time taken doing that and reading that with Migaku. But yeah, really enjoyed this series. It's really cute. I really like the artwork. It's a unique style. That's always a plus for me, especially with shonen rom-coms. It's nice to have unique styles because a lot of them do kind of look similar in a way, so it's nice to see a unique style. Haven't got to know the characters too much yet with just the first volume. I have the first 5 volumes, so I'm probably going to read volume 2 tomorrow. I'm not sure if I want to finish volume 2 or start Suzuka volume 2 or Ayakashi Triangle volume 3. Gonna put Naruto on the back burner for now. It's difficult to read. Don't think I'm ready for that level, so just going to stick to the slice of life rom-com genre for a while yet. But again, I have the first 5 volumes of these, and might read these throughout the rest of the week and try to finish the other 4 volumes that I have. It could be fun to do. Yeah, really enjoyed it. I know the anime's on Netflix, and I can use Migaku on Netflix, so potentially, I know I'm not going to today, but potentially tomorrow for my Japanese listening time, I might actually start the anime on Netflix, because that would be fun. Might be able to start mining it for words. Though honestly, I don't want to mine Japanese sentences yet to make my own deck, because I'm still working my way through the N3 deck, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the vocab that I would mine, like the words I would mine, would probably already be in the deck that I'm working on. So probably going to finish this deck, and I don't know if I'm going to do the N2 deck or the N1 deck. I might do them for fun whenever I get there, because just mining, I know mining and making your own Anki cards is the ideal way. It's the best way to learn Japanese, but it's just boring to me. Though with Migaku, it seems to be a lot easier. It seems like I can make full sentences with audio, furigana, the word, the sentence. I can do all of that with just like one click with Migaku. So I might start testing that out and start making some of my own uh, Anki flashcards with that. Let me bring up my Annie list. I'll talk about some of the anime that I've been watching, because I have been watching a decent amount for, like, sometimes I'll have a day where I'll just watch like all 12 episodes in a day, and I've been trying to do that. My goal honestly was to watch like an anime every weekday for the entire summer, but have not been consistent with that, unfortunately. I did finish this one's like a fantasy anime. It's Last Period, The Journey to the End of Despair, I guess, or maybe the title goes on. Maybe that's just all that it shows. Incredibly generic anime. Would not recommend. Definitely not going to watch that one again for sure. I did watch the Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest. That's another isekai fantasy type one. Very generic. That one was another one that I didn't enjoy too much that I finished recently. Watched all of that in one day. Romantic Killer, that one's from a while ago. Tomo-chan as a Girl, I watched that one at work. I watched all of that one at work one night, I think. Aiken, which is an older anime. Didn't get around to watching that one. It's only 2 episodes. I watched that one yesterday. 2003 is when that one came out, so that's pretty old. Did enjoy it quite a bit. For what I was able to understand, it was fine. Wasn't anything special. It's definitely a period of its time. And I told my friend, like, he used to be a YouTuber on he used to be a YouTuber. I forget, MP Anime 14, I believe was his channel name, but he removed that one like years ago. He was decently popular. I still keep in contact with him, and we talk about anime all the time. But yeah, I mentioned that one to him. I was like, dude, you got to watch this. It's totally a period of its time. It's only 2 episodes. Make time for it. It'll be worth your while. It's a funny series. Quintessential Quintuplets. This one's actually one that I started whenever it was airing. It's called, the English title is Our Dating Story, The Experience You and the Inexperienced Me. Really enjoyed it. Watched it in Japanese for the first time, because originally I watched it in subtitles English, so that's pretty cool. This is an isekai slash, was it an isekai or was it just fantasy? It's hard to tell because all of them are so similar, but even given the worthless appraiser class, I'm actually the strongest. I really enjoyed that one. That one was pretty fun. It was a funny series. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Binged that one in just one sitting. Days with My Stepsister, that's another one that I was watching with English subtitles last year, and I binged all of that last week in a single night. I don't believe it was this week. No, it was definitely last week whenever I binged all of that. It was really fun. But basically, I made an annual list, and I've been keeping track of like everything that I've been immersing in. And the series that I'm currently watching that I haven't finished as of yet is Suzuka. I started watching that one at the same time I started reading it. I'm over halfway through with it, I believe. I'm over halfway through with it. It's 26 episodes, so it's pretty long. It's taken me a while. Honestly, I think I understand more from the anime than what I did from the manga, if I'm being entirely honest. Dragon Ball Daima, I need to finish that. I still haven't finished it. I'm up to like episode 15, 16, something like that. But I'll probably restart it and just watch it without English subtitles or with Japanese subtitles if I can. I'll need to see if Netflix has it with Japanese subtitles. Haikyuu, been watching that one on Netflix because it has Japanese subtitles. One of my favorite manga. Love the manga. Love the anime. Whenever I watched it I believe I watched it in English subtitles. I don't think I watched the dub of that one. It's been a while. My friend and I used to watch that, and Really enjoyed it. Um, Haite kudasai, Takamina-san. Please put them on Takamina-san. I'm actually quite a few episodes behind on that. I believe I watched like first 4 or 5 episodes of that one, and then I've just put them on hold until they finish, and then I'm gonna binge the rest of it. But that's one that I'm watching this season. Another one I'm watching is the Shiunji Family Children. Really good. Really love that one. I'm definitely looking forward to episode 11 comes out tonight, I think. So next week I should be able to binge all of that in like one sitting, finish the rest of it off. Really enjoyed it. It's from the creator of Rent a Girlfriend, which Rent a Girlfriend season 4 starts next month. Super excited about that. And the last one that I've started that I haven't finished is Yu Yu Hakusho in Japanese, because that's the series that I've been watching on. I'm like 20 something episodes in. I've been watching on that one whenever I'm like at work, whenever I have downtime at work. I've been watching on that one. And that's pretty much all the anime that I've been watching. I'm going to try to stick mostly to Slice of Life, have a huge backlog. I'm going to rewatch. The reason I made a new anime list, I have my anime list from years and years and years ago, but I don't really like my anime list. And then I learned about anime list, so I made an anime list, and you can set it in Japanese, so that's another reason I like the anime list. But uh, I made that one to keep track of. At the end of last year, I started tracking like all the anime that I've been watching. I didn't list all the anime that I've watched, but I haven't watched nearly as much as I should. Um, but moving forward, I'm definitely going to start grinding a whole lot more anime. They also have movies on there. Don't know if they do dramas on anime list. They might. Do they? It looks like anime list and manga list, but I know they have anime movies on there as well. So I'm not sure if they have live action or dramas or anything. So may not be able to add those, but I'll be able to add anime to it at least. But my goal is to rewatch basically every anime that I've ever seen in Japanese, preferably with Japanese subtitles, but it's looking like that might be a pain without pirating them or getting a VPN. So might look into that as an option, because I was gonna go to Animel, and it's an anime website that I used to watch anime on because it had Japanese subtitles. But it seems like the site, everything on it has been removed. The site is still functional and it lists everything still, but whenever you go to click on any episode of literally anything, new stuff, old stuff, it says that it's not on there anymore. So I think Animelon unfortunately has bit the dust and been taken down by the Japanese, unfortunately. But yeah, last thing I need to talk about, I guess, is the upcoming Japan trip. Again, I believe I touched on it a little bit. Um, there's a new Bleach event that's going on right now, the Locus of Braid Part 2. It's going on right now. I don't think it's going to last until August, so that's a little disappointing. So honestly, outside of Kamikid, I don't know what I'm going to do in Japan this time. I'm going to try to buy tickets to Kamikid again. Hopefully I can secure tickets before they sell out, because they do cap the attendance limit now, unfortunately. So I'm going to try to buy my tickets online whenever they go on sale. I'm going to Kamikid, but mostly just going, have some Japanese people that I'm going to meet back up with, go on some dates and stuff. I can't think of any like events, because I missed the Soul Eater event. Well, it was Soul Eater and Fire Force, I believe, both. That was in Ikebukuro. I believe that's already ended. And then the Bleach event that's ongoing. And I can't think of anything else that is that far ahead, because a lot of this stuff is only, it lasts like a month or two, a lot of these events. So unfortunately, any of them that's been announced right now that I know of, I don't think I'll be able to go to, unfortunately. There was also a Megami no Cafe Terrace event, and I believe that one's already ended, so I'm not able to go to that one. But I'll just see what's around. I'll go to the anime center in Shibuya. There's always something going on there. Um, that's where I went to the Rent a Girlfriend event. I will see if anything's still going there, because like I said, there's always something there. I'm really disappointed I missed the Beyblade event that they had there. But last time I was in Japan, they had something going on there for like an anime, but it was an anime that I didn't care about. So didn't go to it. I'll see if there's any pop-up shops in Akihabara while I'm there. Gonna, of course, go there again. I would like to go to some new areas. Might go out some more. Might go over to Shiba finally. Don't think I've ever made it quite that far. Might go back to Kashiwa, That would be pretty fun to go back to. And there's some hot springs. I don't remember the names. Iroha, is that one of them? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I might try to go back there as well. But anyway, it's been about 30 minutes. I've procrastinated enough. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Looking forward to the next Japan trip. Going to be trying to read a lot more. I might try to stream, probably not anymore this week, but maybe next week whenever I have like a decent stack of Japanese manga to show off that I've finished reading. So that would be pretty cool to see if I've been able to keep up with my goal of one a day. So yeah, I will see you guys later.